He does. Who's ready to search for buried treasure or pan for gold? Now you have a chance in Metro Detroit. A new interactive exhibit has just opened up at the Cranbrook Institute of Science, and that's all about hunting for treasure. Joining us now is Cameron Wood. He is the anthropology coordinator and museum educator. Hey, Cam.
Hey, good to meet you. Good to be back. How are you doing today?
Good to see you. Thanks for being here. This is exciting stuff. You and I were talking during the break as our mics open up. We were already mid-conversation. I used to know a guy that would dive local lakes and come up with people's wedding rings and car keys and lost valuables and all kinds of stuff. I love the entire concept of treasure hunting.
Oh, who doesn't? I mean, it's so exciting, right? To find something new. And people do it all the time. People love to metal detect, of course. That's a big thing, yeah.
I still want one of those.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I'm 51 years old.
Well, if you bring your kids to the exhibit, they can play around with metal detectors. So the exhibit is about treasure hunting in a way, which is not typically something museums focus on, but it is fun, right?
Right.
And so this exhibit has interactives that relate to it. Kids can frog around with metal detectors in a big sand pit. They can pan for gold.
Which we're looking at here on the screens.
There you go. You see them, they're working away at it right there. There they're opening a safe. We talk about how safes work, and you can take a crack at cracking a safe there. As they turn the wheel there, you see how the pins and dials work.
I mean, even in my house, we bought our house in 2008, and there's like a secret entrance to the attic that I found my way up to. And once I started rummaging around in there, I was finding, I found a Star Wars Empire Strikes Back corkboard from 1980 that was still intact. I'm like, it's just fun to unearth things.
And it's remarkable how often it happens. One of the coolest parts of my job is probably once a week I'll get an email from somebody that's referred to us that I was digging in the garden and I found this arrowhead, or literally people have found really interesting stuff in the walls of their old homes.
Dinosaur teeth, shark's teeth, all that kind of stuff.
Oh,
so
amazing.
What did you bring in here today visually here?
Well, we have a couple of things for you. In addition to the larger interactives that you saw on the screen there, we have what we call the science stop, where we have volunteers who also work with our guests. And this little guy here, I won't fire him up and run him because he's amazingly quick, but this is a replica of the Mars rover, and kids can drive those around. You can put yourself
right down to this.
Yep.
Wow.
You can even mount,
so it can crab crawl, basically.
it can crab crawl. It goes sideways. You can mount your cell phone camera on it and kind of record.
Oh, that's cool.
And then we actually have right there an interesting slab of fossils from Earth, but relating to the scientific exploration of looking for life on Mars, which is what the actual rover is involved with.
Is this something that's like really, really old?
This is actually. In addition to the traveling exhibit, we've supplemented.
May I touch it?
You may. How about by the handle there?
Okay.
Now, what you're holding on to is an Ilwun sword from the Kuba Empire of Central Congo.
How old?
Probably 18th century.
Wow.
And these were a weapon of status for warriors and rulers in the Kuba Kingdom. If you've seen the movie Black Panther, there's a famous fight between Black Panther and Killmonger, and a weapon very much like this is featured in that sequence.
So a couple, 300 years old, I mean.
Yep.
Wow. What about the idea of treasure maps and X marks the spot? We have about less than a minute left to talk, but what about that?
As Indiana Jones says, it never happens, but occasionally I suppose it might. That is one of the fun little features of the exhibit. Is there's a bit of a pirate theme, of course. Arr, pirates. So it talks a little bit about treasure maps and that sort of thing.
Where can people learn more about the exhibit?
Well, you can certainly go to our website, which is science.cranbrook.edu. We maintain a Facebook page where you'll see postings about it. And it is only open through basically coming up on the Labor Day holiday. It closes on September 3rd. So
Cameron?
run, don't walk. Thank you.